What's up, y'all? Welcome to Tyler Fixes Things. Today we got this slick Polaris Sportsman 450 HO. Got some problems with it. A little bit of loss in performance, so it wouldn't start. We're gonna dive on in and fix this thing. So a customer brought this in here because it started getting to the point to where it was getting a little bit harder to start, a little bit of loss of performance, and it finally got to the point to where you couldn't even get it to start. What I do first, just to eliminate some issues, go ahead and bring it on here, bring it in the shop, put it on charger. I noticed off the rip when I turned the key on, dash was flickering, so voltage is low, probably from just trying to start this thing so much. So I put my jumper on here. I've got it on charge. I got it turned off right now because it's annoying hum and buzz. But what I've done, turn the key on, let everything prime up, and then I tried to crank and I got nothing. Okay, so I sprayed a little bit of starting fluid in here. To break this down really quick, what we're doing is just looking for proof of concept. You got three things to make a fire work. It's called the stoichiometry.
I mean, that's fascinating.
The triangle. You've got fuel, air, and heat. So what we're doing is we're eliminating one of those three. So when I'm shooting this ether in here, we're adding fuel and it runs proof of concept, which means we've got air and spark. So that's our heat. So between all three, when I add fuel, the third element that it needs, it fires. Now, whether it runs great, is to be determined later on, but that's the proof of concept that we're going for. Those three things: spark, air, fuel. Now, of course, you've got computer control, compression, spark, voltage, all that stuff being around the board, but for basic proof of concept, this is what we're doing. I'm going to show you how to rebuild this fuel pump here. Now, of course, you can just get an assembly through Polaris, and Amazon ones are about $50, but you know you're going to be changing an Amazon pump probably every year, every other year. So unless you're one of those folks that just happen to find the golden egg and have one that lasts forever.
Lucky.
So what we're doing in the middle of the road here, we're going to rebuild the factory pump. I'm going to show you this nice kit I got from All Balls Racing for this kit here. So we're going to walk through and show you how to do this kit the best I know how to. Thanks for watching, guys. God bless. To get started, we're going to take off this fuel line here. There's just 4 little squeeze tabs here. You just squeeze them and they'll pop off. Make sure you don't have any fuel left in the system here under pressure. What you would do is just going to disconnect that little harness clip right there that goes into the pump itself, and turn the key on and crank it, get some of the fuel pressure out. Then you'll need a large set of pliers or oil filter wrench, strap wrench, whatever you have to get this ring off. It's kind of tight. It'll come off all the way. Just keep rotating it out. Just make sure to remember the orientation of your pump inside the tank. That way when you put it back in, all your floats are in the correct position and your hard fuel line will match up. And just be mindful when you're pulling this out to keep your actual float that's down there kind of held up with your finger, just to keep it from getting hung up in the tank. And it'll come out at an angle there and you'll be able to get it out fairly easy without having to remove the handlebars. Go ahead and take your tank seal off of here. See if you have any debris in there you need to clean out possibly. Now's a good time to do it. So here's our old pump. Sending unit's good. We want to keep the OEM quality, but we don't want to pay the OEM price. That's about how all of us goes, right? So what we're going to do is we've got a kit here to rebuild these. We'll go ahead and see what this kit's got here. New gasket. Got a couple different section lengths of hoses here depending on how tall your pickup is, so that's cool. Give you a few different sizes to replace this one, so that's cool. So we got those. We got clamps here for that as well, so that's cool. We got a new tank gasket. That's nice. Another section of hose. Zip tie. Here's the new strainer filter. Little keeper. Some connectors. There's that check valve, clamp, O-ring. We have over here. Here's the new pump. That little pump has got some heft to it. It almost feels like that thing was made of a battery. That's what it feels like. It's pretty heavy. Here's our line. That's cool. Everything's here. All right, so we're just going to walk through, disassemble this one here on my left, and we're going to start rebuilding. Look at the crap on there. Let's take this off first. push down on this spring here. Give me some slack in my cable. You're going to remove this little plastic piece out of here first. And this little O-ring down here you see, that comes with the kit, and we'll replace that later. Yep, just right here. I'm just going to take this out. So there's the O-ring they supply with you in the kit. So you got plenty of length of wire here, and you'll see this little spade connector goes down here where the old one is. They've got ends on here made, already stripped. So we're just going to cut back on a section of wire here to give us plenty of room. We can always cut off more if we need to later. Cut off the zip ties and work this wire out and take this little terminal off of here. It's got a little retention clip on here, so you can see with the pick tool, if you can get under here and just pry it up a little bit to keep that little dimple out of the slot, it'll come out. So I'll show you up close here. You see that little bitty tab is, if you're able to work yourself underneath of there with a little pick, you get it to pull off there a lot easier, so it comes out of that hole. Now we got to move on to this little self-harming clip, I'm going to call it, because it's a one-way clip. That's what we got to do to replace that regulator. You have to go around and walk around each one of these teeth and just kind of pry them up a little bit at a time. It's a process, just be patient. You just kind of work them up a little bit all the way around, back and forth, and I speed up the video here because it takes a little bit to get it off, but I promise you, just stay persistent. It'll keep working, and it'll come out. And then once you get it up to the top, it'll just pop right off of there. It's just, like I said, it's a pain in the butt. Just be patient. And as I promised, it will come off, just like this. Now on to the next difficult stage. Getting this little plastic keeper out of here. And this plastic, the white here around it, is what holds this in here. So we've got to open these up a little bit. The black plastic piece you see in there has these little one-way keepers. So you just kind of work at it one side at a time, and this will come out. And this will allow you to remove your pressure regulator. I just took a little flat screwdriver here just to kind of get it loosened up a little bit. Then I go back with a pair of pliers, put some pressure, and just kind of twist it out. It's just an O-ring in there that's holding it in, so you're not going to break anything. It'll pop right out. And now you've got your old regulator. Look down in there, there's no gaskets, because the new gaskets and the new O-rings, or I should say O-rings in general, come with the new one. We're going to want to lube these O-rings up before I reinstall, but I'm going to warn you here on some product that you cannot use. This stuff right here, the Sil-Glide, anything that runs an oxygen sensor, you cannot use anything with silicone. It will kill an oxygen sensor like right now. So I would normally just lube these up with this, but I can't do that this time. And when you look at this, it's literally Sil-Glide. It's a silicone-based lubricant. And even right here, contains silicone. You can't use this on this, but you can use a little bit of engine oil because an engine will burn oil, but you cannot use this. So I'm just going to take a little bit of ATV oil here, dip it in the cap, and rub a little bit of that on the O-rings. That way we're putting it back in here, and the engine will burn that just fine. Set that back down in its home where it goes, give it a little wiggle, a little bit of pressure, and she'll drop right down where she's supposed to sit. Then you'll go ahead and work this keeper back in here. It goes in a lot easier than it does coming out. So just get the one side in, a little bit of firm pressure, get it between them plastic tabs, and she'll click right back down to where it's supposed to go. Just like simple. So that part was easy. Now, you notice that keeper there is loosey-goosey. So I'm looking at these tabs and I'm thinking, okay, well, I'm just going to bend these down some, the way they can grip the new piece well. So I went around and hammered it, and I had to do this several times to get this tab where I really needed it to grab that thing in there. And I was a little bit frustrated right here because I noticed that the factory one is larger in diameter than the new one. So it won't even fit over top of the factory one, but it's still loose over the new one. So that's my only hang up, I should say, on this new kit here. Is the new regulator is just slightly smaller in its outside diameter than the factory one. So you just got to beat these tabs down. I mean, I'm talking pretty much flat to where it'll actually go on here nice and tight, and it will go. You just got to keep beating on it until you like it where you want it. Then go around with a little punch and just kind of set this thing back down. I just gave it some light taps with a hammer here and got it where I wanted it to go, and got her in. So we'll go ahead and put this cap back on here that we took off earlier over top of the pump first, because our O-ring is going to go on the outside of this one. So get your wires out of the way, get your oiled O-ring, and just go ahead and place it over the edge of this one. Go ahead and get this put back down in here. It just slides into its home like it was supposed to. Oiling your O-rings makes this go a lot easier. To get it down, and just one little bit of firm pressure on the pump, and it'll just slip right into where it's supposed to go. Then you can go ahead and continue putting your new screen on. The new screen comes with a new keeper clip, so you'll just get this on here, and we're going to pop it in place. It's a little light tap of the back of the hammer handle. A little ring here, they're a little bit harder to get on, so I usually get them started with my finger, and then I'll take a small socket, stick it over the end of it, and just kind of tap it on there with the end of a hammer just to slide that keeper down where it's supposed to go until she's set. So then we're going to move on now. Put the cover back over here that we took off first. Same as way we took it off, and just put it back on there, and those little tabs are going to squeeze back in place and hold that down well. And that's what's going to hold the base of your pump where it's supposed to go for your height of your tank, so that spring pressure is going to push it all the way down. We're going to go ahead and put our terminal back on where it's supposed to go down here on that little clip we just hammered back in. Get the wire guided around. Now we're going to move on to the fun part, which is replacing the straw. And I say it's the fun part because the straws are a little on there. That black one you see on there, it's on there pretty tight, and you're going to have to cut it off. So you're going to match up that size tubes they give you to whatever height you have. Just match it up with the old one. Then you're going to go through the process of cutting off your old tube here. You're going to flip her on over, and we'll go ahead and do the other side. I had to switch to a knife style razor cutter here to reach down in there, but get that off of there and you'll be good to go.
This hose is smaller on one side than it is the other, so be careful of that. This larger side goes around the bigger barb here. This is smaller, so just don't try to force them on backwards, because you'll get this one on to be tight and then this one will be loosey-goosey, so just dry fit it first.
These new hoses go on very tight, so I would recommend softening it with a little bit of a heat gun or just a slight warming from a lighter or something, just to soften that plastic up just a touch. And you can use a little bit of oil on the tubes too, just to help it slip on there, because you're going to have the new clamps on there, and they're still tight fitting, so don't worry, they're not going to come off. Just stay consistent with it, good pressure, and get them on there, and you'll be fine. This kit comes with a couple nice hose clamps. Now's the time we're going to use them. Could be smart like me and put them on the hose before you get to this point, but hey, I forgot. So either way, they'll open up and go on there, and put them however you want to put them on there, as long as they're there to hold the new tube on. Tighten them down. Just remember, it's plastic. Don't want to go to town on it. Go ahead and bunch your wires together the way you want them. I hold them all together and cut straight across. That way all my waste gets put to the side and my wires line up exactly where I want them to line up. Then you're going to go ahead and take this wonderful, beautiful time you have here to clean your wires up however you want to, route them however you want to. Just put them through the middle is what I would do. Get the end stripped off here like so, since you done chopped them off. The kit comes with a good couple of shrink connectors. You'll go ahead and put them together, black on black and blue on blue. I've got my non-marking crimp tools here. They're not going to rip through that shrink jacket. They're not going to harm it or rip it. So that helps you when you go to heat shrink. It's not going to put a tear in the heat shrink or anything like that. So you can make your splice wherever you want to. It doesn't matter. It's inside the tank. Whether it's going to be submerged in fuel or in the air when the tank is low, it's not going to matter. Just put them on here, crimp them, shrink them down with a heat gun. If you use a torch like I did, just be careful not to burn it or bubble it, because then, well, you're just going to burn your jacket up. So just take some practice and you'll figure out what works and what doesn't work. And so now you're going to gather up all your wires here, and we're going to zip tie it back to the tube here with the zip tie they provided. Put that dude there. I ended up adding one more zip tie, but this is really all you got to do. Put this on here, snip off that little rest, and you're done. So now we got the key on. We're back to good pressure. It primes up to about 60 pounds and holds at 58, so we're good to go. And the maiden voyage. I took it out on the road, and she had full throttle response, ran great, and customer is pleased.
God bless. See you on the next one.